thank you to Josh and Kyle. You know, without them, I couldn't imagine doing this by myself. These two are, you know, some of the best to work with. They do the best they can with the kids. The kids respond well to them. So without them two by my side, you know, this would be really, really hard to do. So I thank them a lot. You know, they're very understanding. They know how into it I get. So I thank them for everything they do for the bowling team, for the JV team, and for the girls team. Also, I want to say thank you. Josh touched a little bit, but parents, you're a huge part to this, to our program, okay? We want to continue carrying on the tradition of having a bowling team there at Sterling. It's one of the sports that the school doesn't really like to recognize, but you guys are a huge part. We aren't able to get into the school hallways. We aren't teachers, so the only way we can spread, you know, about the bowling program is through you kids. So this is my preaching. I do it every year to you kids. You guys, you know, you got t-shirts now. We're gonna get more. A lot of parent involvement this year, which is really, really exciting. Okay, this is probably the first time in a long time since we were bowling that we have parents that are willing to, you know, step up, do bake sales. Amy, I can't thank you enough. It was a great idea. You know, we're talking fundraising ideas already for next year. So we're looking to take the bowling team to new heights. We can't wait to see what next year is going to bring. I thank you parents for everything you've done for the boys and girls, okay? And they do appreciate you too. I know when they're bowling bad, they don't like you guys there. They're all mad, but they love you guys and they love the support. So please keep coming out. You know, they love bowling for their parents. They love seeing you guys there, you know. First thing they do when they get a strike, they don't look at their teammates or us coaches. They look in the background if mom and dad are there, okay? So keep coming out. Thank you guys, we really do appreciate it.
Before he goes on, he did tell me yesterday, Josh, tomorrow's my farewell, I'm retiring. So him saying looking forward to next year is good signs, because yesterday he told me he was retiring, and I'm like, what? What are we going to do? I'm happy that what Adam just said, because I thought he was leaving us.
So we'll start off with our first bowler, Robert.
Woo! RJ! And HP. Got you, fam.
Robert, he had a great season. I do expect more from Robert next year. He's definitely got a good work ethic. I know he's going to work over the summer. You know, he plays ball, but he will get on the lanes and he's going to practice and he's going to get better. He started out last year as a freshman. All he kept saying is, Coach, I want to hook it more. I want to hook it more. Robert, just give it time, okay? Just do what your body's letting you do right now. That's what I always like to tell the boys. They always want to take their game straight from 150 to 200 overnight, and it doesn't happen that way. Robert, I think, is finally coming along, and he's seeing that you got to give the game time, okay? I'm expecting big things from him next year. He's hungry when he's out on the lanes. You know, I stuck him everywhere in the lineup this year, from leadoff to 4-hole, and he filled the spot very well. Okay, he has a lot of passion on the lanes, sometimes a little bit too much, but we're working on that. We're a work in progress.
A little.
He knows that, I know that, but I can't wait till next year. I expect big things out of him. He's a great kid, and I know he's going to be a leader next year when it comes to being on and off the lane, so can't wait till next year.
Puppy dog. I'll do it.
Christopher Ebla.
Yeah, puppy dog.
Okay, before we start anything, I owe Chris a sincere apology. I thought I was on top of my game this year with this banquet. I could have swore I gave Chris a varsity letter last year, but I forgot that Chris just filled in last year. He was coming off our JV team, and he bowled partially with the varsity last year. So JV, prime example right here why you work hard. Chris worked hard, and he filled one of the spots from one of the graduating seniors last year to a T this year. We could always expect Chris to go out there and never try to overdo it. He gave us everything he had. You know, he was something a coach, you know, that's what you ask for out of a player. Come out there, work hard, you know, show good sportsmanship, and that's what Chris did. And you know what? That's what Sterling Heights Bowling is all about. Good sportsmanship and working hard. Chris is doing that. We're expecting bigger things out of him next year. We can't wait. I do owe you a letter. But we, you know, me and Josh, we go off, we talk here and there about the bowling program, and we decided that with what Chris did this year, his work ethic, and, you know, one of the things that he did that I can't believe he did is his corner spares were just horrendous at the beginning of the year. I just couldn't get him to make it. So I said, Chris, you were going to throw a house ball at your 10 pin.
Clarice.
And without hesitation, he went up there, he took that house ball, and he gave it everything he had. It didn't always work, but he said, you know what, Coach, you want me to do it? I'm going to do it. And you know what? He did everything that I asked of him this year. So me and Josh and Kyle decided that this year, we were going to give Chris the Most Improved Bowler award.
When he came in as a freshman, he was throwing the ball straight down the middle.
Oh yeah.
Good times.
So, and look at him now. And that's just 2 years. So, you know, it just takes time, and you know, just because you're throwing a straight ball now doesn't mean you won't be hooking the ball, you know, very soon. So, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next up is one of our half-season bowlers. We did have a split this year with, sometimes it stinks when you only have 5 because injuries do occur on the season, okay? And that happened to us, and we got lucky that we got a call from heaven from one of our other boys that decided to leave us, but he came back. But we do have to deal with injuries, and Joey, you know all about that, so come on up.
He knew I was in pain, like he felt it, so that's why he called me.
Yeah, bro.
I think you felt my pain.
Joey, another young bowler on our varsity team.
Bless you.
One good thing about our varsity team is we are young. We're only losing 2. So that's really good in a way. And JV, that just means you got to work a little bit harder to get up to where these boys are. No reason you can't. These guys meet up 2 or 3 times during the year or during the summer to practice, okay? And that's one thing I preach to them, and they listen, and their game has improved tremendously. Joey is one of those bowlers who has improved. He was hitting his stride, averaging right around 2.0, 2.05 when he went down, and you know, there's nothing we could do. Told him to be supportive of his team. Joey showed up at all the meets. He stood in the background. He knew he couldn't be there physically for his team, but he was there to cheer him on and support his team. So we praise you, Joey, for your good sportsmanship. We look forward to next year, hopefully a healthy full year, and we can't wait to see what next year brings.
Next year? Yeah. Are we? Oh yeah. That's promise. Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Joey
Good.
JBB.
Next up would be Jan.
Hey, that's me.
John.
Jan, anchor bowler all year long. Really clutch. Very, very solid player. Can't say enough about Jan. When it comes to working hard, I would say Jan, he sets the bar for all of our bowlers on the program. He's dedicated to the game, not only practicing, but learning the smaller, deeper aspects of bowling, lane play, always willing to ask questions. Anything that he could do to gain that little edge on the player he was bowling against, Jan's going out and doing it. He's going to be our leader next year. He was our leader this year. He made first team white division. He bowled in the biggest singles tournament in the county, is our Macomb County tournament. Jan ran the bracket all the way to the final match. Unfortunately, he lost in that match. He still bowled tremendous. He came in second place. expecting big things from Jan next year, his senior year. He's put a lot of work in these past 3 years. I don't think he's going to stop working until he reaches his goal. I think everybody in the program knows where Jan wants to go. Individually, he wants to go to states, but he's more determined to get the team to states. This year was hard to find my vocal leader for a boys leader. Jan stepped up in a way that he surprised me a little bit, the way that he would get vocal with the boys. So, I know Jan's leadership role. I expect things out of him, and now I don't even have to tell him anymore. It's just he's going out there and doing those things. So next year, can't wait for you, Jan. It's going to be a good year. And I have 2 seniors to go through. I'll start with my part-time senior. I think he knows who that is.
Yeah, John.
Matthew Istafu. Matt was our one answer from heaven when Joey went down, because I didn't mind bringing up another JV bowler, but at the same breath, like Kyle said, we didn't even have a full JV team. So to deplete them even more with only 4 bowlers and take it down to 3, Matt called me and Josh and said, guys, I had a job. He called us right at the beginning of the year and said, guys, I want to bowl, but I also want to work and make some extra money. And it's understandable. You're a 17-year-old kid. You want money. You want to go out. You have a social life. Us 3 up here as coaches do not push our kids to do anything they don't want to do. We support them 100% in whatever decision they make, as long as it's a good one. Okay? If it's something dumb, we're going to tell you. But he wanted to work. Go ahead and work. We're not going to stop you. He called us up halfway through the year and said, I realize I'm going to work the rest of my life. High school bowling only lasts for another half a year. Do you think I can come back? And me and Josh sat down and said, do you think it's fair to the other bowlers? And we decided, Matt was one of those kids. He worked his butt off for 3 years. He was one of those kids that came in as a freshman throwing a straight ball, never bowling before. And if you watched him one time throw the ball, if you haven't seen him and seen the smooth stroke that he has, there was no way we could turn him down and say, no, we can't let you back on this team. Great kid on and off the lanes. Definitely going to miss him. Huge motivation factor. Some of the things he did on the lanes, I can't even describe, but he always made me smile. He's a great kid, always motivating the others. Underclassmen, take a page from Matt's book. He's a great kid on and off the lanes. He's going to do some great things. He's moving on. He's going to OU. I'm a fellow Golden Grizzly alumni, so picked a good school. But we're going to miss him. And I hope he comes back, like we tell all our seniors, Sam, Matt, John, we always tell them, when they come back from spring break or whatever break they're on, come back and see us, bowl with the kids. We appreciate everything you did for us the last 4 years. We're going to miss you, and good luck with whatever you do. We talked about this for 4 years, and he always said, I can't wait to give a speech. I can't wait to talk.
Where's the medals?
It's your time to shine, buddy. And we even got, look at that, right light.
Okay, honestly, the best sport I got to play with 3 awesome coaches. They honestly helped me get to where I am today in this sport. I love going bowling. You'll see me at 5-Star every Monday night. I don't know, I just love it. I've improved a lot too. And, good luck to you guys.
Thanks. And last up, Mr. John Krieg.
JPK! Woo!
To start off, like I said, I graduated from OU, but mine and Josh's heart lies with Michigan. We're huge Michigan sports junkies. As you can see, John's repping where he will be going to school. That in itself is a huge, huge accomplishment. Michigan's no easy school to get into. And, he was one of the lucky few to get selected to go to the greatest university ever. So we're happy for him. But besides that, not getting sidetracked, John was another kid all 4 years, worked his butt off for us. He's a prime example, again, of what hard work can do for you, on the lanes. He came in really not knowing much about bowling, had some 1960 equipment, and we started off with that and turned into getting new bowling balls and really becoming a great leader on the varsity team. He knew when it was his time to step up and say something, and he knew when it was his time just to let his bowling do the talking. We couldn't ask much more from John on the lanes. He showed up to all the practices. If he couldn't make it, it's probably because he had some kind of schooling event going on. My advice is take another page from this senior. Great kid, great bowler. Another hole we're going to have to fill in our program, but the last 4 years they were great. This is one of the reasons that me and Josh and Kyle stick around and do this. We watch the kids come in as freshmen, and we don't also just see them develop on the lanes, but we watch them go from being, young boys and girls to becoming young men and women. He's really matured both on and off the lanes. We're excited for the future and whatever, John decides to do with his degree. Can't say enough about him. We're going to miss him tremendously. Hope he comes back and visits the program. Carry on, come see us, bowl a couple games. Don't forget to bowl in college a little bit. But yeah, can't say enough about John. Gonna miss him. And it was a great 4 years with him. He was a great kid.
First and foremost, thanks to my family, my mom, my dad. Thanks coaches, Josh, Adam, Kyle. Really, I don't know where my bowling would be had I not come to the program. I was throwing like 160s and like 1970 equipment, so.
Sorry.
I don't know. But yeah, it was a great experience. If I had the chance, I'd do it again, and I wish I had the chance, but time to move on. All right.
Thank you. Stay up here. If I could have all the varsity boys come up here really quick. I forgot to hand you guys something.
Come on up here.
One thing, I know Josh talks to all you parents at the parent meeting at the beginning of the year, is how we run our program. And, he tells you what we demand of the kids. Okay, we demand schoolwork, we demand respect for the game, respect for, fellow bowlers, opponents, and, anybody watching that comes to watch. We were brought up to love the game, and we're trying to teach them the correct way how we were brought up. This award right here just says, we never even had to tell the kids this year, go up, shake your opponent's hands before and after matches. If they do good, give them 5, support the other teams. I know we're bowling against them, but still, bowling's a little bit different than any other sport, okay? We're not separated where you're on this side and you're on that side. We're pretty much all right there together. Our boys were voted by all the other coaches in the Mac White Sportsmanship Award winners. So that's a huge reflection of our program, and we thank you boys for doing that. It goes straight to the AD, to all the other schools and going on. Showing that, Sterling Heights is a very respectable program. So congratulations to the boys. Not to say that our girls and our JV boys don't do the same thing. They do. And they know they do. Our coaches, they recognize our boys, and it's a huge honor. So be proud of that and carry it on. And, whenever you're bowling, not just when you got that stallion uniform on, but when you're out just being fun, having fun, being competitive, make sure you're always cheering on whoever it is, okay? Good job to you guys. It was a great season. Okay, yep.
We do have